the 17%? Who are they? Who the hell are the 17%? Anybody in here from the 17%? Don't raise your hand, it may be dangerous. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So I think I might have been in Washington 17 times in my life. 17, 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. I spoke to him 17 minutes ago. I hung up the phone as you're coming in. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So you had 17 Republicans plus me. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, planning it for 17 years.
New Year, right? My first video. Welcome, guys. It's like I said, it's my first video of the new year. I didn't do a video last Thursday on New Year's Day because I took the time to go out with my son, obviously, on New Year's Day and did a few things. So anyway, first video of the year. I know you guys still know that I'm banned on Facebook, on Facebook for another 3 weeks. So less than 3 weeks, give or take. So January 19th is when I'll be out of Facebook prison. I'm definitely hardcore when it comes to Facebook prison, but I'm still going to keep on doing my lives and stream them on, of course, YouTube, where you guys are on, Rumble. And now I'm doing a platform called Kick. I also started my X, so I'll be doing on X also. I decided to join X. Why not? To get out the truth, you know what I mean? Because we got 4 months to get Carney out. So before we begin, all the shout outs to everybody, my common sensors, my truthers, my Canadian patriots, my American family, and of course the common sensors, the pure bloods of once upon a time pure bloods are all the family to me. Welcome to the pretty much the only podcast with common sense, and I'll go and show you what I mean with a bigger definition of common sense when I talk about tonight's show. Obviously, it's what's going around. I did a couple TikTok videos. If you don't follow me on TikTok, if you do follow me on TikTok or you want to know what I am on TikTok, my account, and I'm looking right now, guys, because there's so much, but it's Jeff Freedom. Also, Jeff.freedom0 is at Jeff.freedom. I don't know why it says Jeff.freedom0, but that's where you'll find me. Also on TikTok. I got to find out why it says Jeff.freedom. But anyway, I'm on TikTok too, and I'm going to start doing a lot of videos on there too. Obviously, I don't get as much violated, I guess you could say, on TikTok for now. But anyway, let's begin. Everyone knows what's happened in the United States and Venezuela. I've said this a few times, actually, over a year ago. And I'm just going to explain it. And for the people that follow me, I know there's not too many of you right now on live, and that's okay because everyone follows me on Facebook, even though I tell you guys over 100 times to join YouTube and follow me on YouTube because I'll be less censored on YouTube than Facebook. So again, for the people that are on, follow me on YouTube, great for you. I mean, you guys are paying attention. You're getting with the program. It's the way I'd love to do. I would love to just forget Facebook completely and just do all my podcasts on YouTube, obviously. So anyway, I've said this a long time ago. So a little history lesson for you guys. If you guys actually think that Donald Trump is taking Venezuela over for oil, you are definitely, your mind is somewhere else, and you're literally got the blinders on, and you're not looking and thinking outside the box if you think it's just about oil. Because believe it or not, United States has the #1 oil reserves in the world. Venezuela, you got to remember, Venezuela has oil as much as Canada, but it's crude oil. There's 3 kinds of oil. The problem with Venezuela oil is it's very thick. So very thick costs a lot of money when it comes to refining it. And I do mean thick as mud. I worked in the oil patch, so I know exactly what crude oil really looks like, especially in Venezuela, in Canada. But Venezuela oil is as thick as it's going to get. Okay, so let's just say it as it is. It's not for the oil. It's actually for a few things. I have a cannabis farm in Colombia. I'm a big Colombia patriot, I guess you could say. I love the Spanish people. It's very dangerous in Colombia. It's very dangerous in Venezuela. It's very dangerous in Brazil. That's because of the corrupted government. It's been, you thought Mark Carney and Justin Trudeau was corrupt, not even close to what these southern hemisphere, with all the corruption that happens, especially like in El Salvador, which has changed, Honduras, Panama, of course, Colombia, Venezuela, you name it, and Cuba. So Donald Trump is calling on them all. So of course, if you guys didn't see the video that was going around with Maduro, you literally at a rally telling Donald Trump, I dare you to come and get me. Well, he fucked around and he found out. All right. So apparently right now, the Colombian government is doing the exact same thing, saying, I dare you to come and get me. I dare you to come and get me. And trust me, guys, the Colombian army, I compared the Colombian army to like the Canadian army, both gay, but dressed up in green. The Colombian army is just as scary as the rent-a-cops down at your local malls. You know, the security with the Punjabi hats. They're just as scary as our army. So for him to, Pedro, to have that set of balls to say that, well, you're going to fuck around and you're going to find out pretty damn soon. So I don't know if he's going to go after Cuba first or he's going to go after Colombia. Either way, in the next 6 months, you're going to see both of those two knobs get removed. And it's got nothing to do with minerals. It's got nothing to do with gas, oil, you name it. You got to understand, for the people that don't know anything about Venezuela, all right? This sounds gross, and it really is a true thing, is Venezuela, the average person just in the past year have lost over 20 pounds. And it's not because they're on the Jenny Craig food system and watching their diet. It's literally because they're being starved to death on purpose for Maduro. All right, just to let you know, that's a complete fact. Now, money is the greed of all evil. So you're probably asking how does one person stay in power and able to do all this? Well, that's because he had a lot of his army generals being paid a lot of money. And you got to keep in mind, you as an army civilian or soldier, I guess you could say, you have to follow the law, because if you don't follow the army or your oath to the government, it's called treason, and treason comes with death. This is the main reason why the army, the navy, the military, they always put treason as death, to scare the hell out of any soldier that even ever thought about doing something, revolting against the government. You understand? While in a uniform. Same concept. So this is what happens when you have no other choice to go to support your government or else. You understand? So it's a huge fear tactic. It's a mind fudge. I'm going to try to keep down the swearing so I don't get decensored or censored. I won't get demonetized because I don't collect money off YouTube. So this has always been the plan for the longest time when it comes to the word treason. All right. So just to let you guys know that you don't know anything about Venezuela, I'll give you a little history. They are starving so much in Venezuela. I think something like 8 to 10 million people have escaped Venezuela in the last 3 to 5 years. That's 100%. I know because I have a farm in Colombia, and most of Colombia are filled with Venezuelan immigrants. I mean, it's plastered, like invaded with Venezuelan people escaping Venezuela. Colombia is filled with millions. If you think Canada are filled with Pakistans, think of that, but think of almost double the number in Colombia, to be honest with you. But also, they don't even have zoo animals no more. If you're asking me, well, Jeff, what do you mean Venezuela don't have zoo animals? There's actually reports and videos out there that the people are starved so much that they were eating the zoo animals. All right, that's pretty disgusting. But when you are in that state and you have no other choice, then you have no other choice. Another big thing is back in 2006, I've already done many reports about this, but I'm going to show you a video just to prove it. In 2006, China, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the 13 bloodlines, all those WEF corrupt pieces of shit, they all gathered together and they used Venezuela to come up and be the central point throughout the world to bring out their Dominion voting system. All right? Just to let you know, this is the country that first used it as a pilot to bring it into every country to make sure that the elections were stolen in every corrupted any country, to bring in their WEF puppets. Just to let you know, started off in Venezuela, which was the third richest country in the entire world in the early 2000s. Third richest. Now it's in the top 10 for the most poorest country in the world after 20 years of this dictator. Macron, Merkel from Germany, Boris Johnson, the Denmark president or prime minister or chancellor, whatever you call him. Ukraine, of course, with Zelensky. Of course, in Canada, Joe Biden. This was linked back in 2020 with the Joe Biden with the Dominion voting system, which was reported, and then apparently Fox got sued for something like $800 million for reporting that the Dominion voting systems changed the votes to change it from Biden to Trump. But now it came out that they were right. The voting system was corrupt. So with that being said, a lot of things are coming out, but don't think it's because of the oil. Venezuela was the main pilot used, and let's keep in mind that Donald Trump has seized the minerals because Venezuela has already been invaded. It's been invaded by China. It's been invaded by Iran. It's been invaded by Cuba, and of course, they say it's been invaded by Russia. Now, I don't believe that Russian thing. They always got to put Russia in there. I do believe China, right? I do believe Iran, 100%, right? I don't believe the Russia. Cuba, yeah, dictator. So if you seize the oil, all right, now picture this. If China is taking the oil from Venezuela and Trump seizes the oil from Venezuela and Russia is the only place that China can get the oil, and Russia now cannot get their oil because Donald Trump and Putin made a deal. Now, what is China going to do, right? How's China going to operate with no more oil? With what, 1.4 billion people in China? Because again, like Afghanistans and Pakistans and Indians, they breed like cockroaches. So I'm going to show you a couple videos, just to think outside the box. These guys have some great points, even though I've talked about it way longer before them. But let's bring it up. Maybe they have a better way to show you guys a different scenario than the way I was telling you guys. All right, so first things first, check this out. This is about Venezuela.
What is happening in Venezuela? What is happening in Venezuela is literally so different from anything you've been hearing. Back in 2005, a news reporter, Lou Dobbs, already reported how Venezuela was the central operational hub from where elections were being rigged around the world so that the deep state could install their criminal agents in key strategic positions so that they could fulfill their agenda for one world government, for world domination. Listen to the clip here.
A firm owned by Venezuela could be allowed to take over one of this country's top voting machine firms. Venezuela, of course, led by Hugo Chavez, working to change the views of most South American countries, moved to the left. Critics of the deal say our nation's very democracy is now for sale without anyone doing a thing about it. Kitty Pilgrim reports.
The use of some 19,000 electronic voting machines in the city of Chicago and Cook County primary on March 21st of this year is now under intense scrutiny. The U.S. company that makes the machines, Sequoia, was bought in 2005 by Smartmatic, a private company primarily owned by Venezuelan businessmen. When Chicago had problems with the machines, a dozen Venezuelan employees were there to help with the election. Chicago officials are outraged.
I think that American elections ought to be run by American companies and ought to be run by American citizens, not Venezuelan nationals.
Smartmatic is technically based in Boca Raton, Florida, but the president of the company, Jack Blaine, testified to the Chicago City Council. Fewer than a dozen Smartmatic employees work in Florida. The majority of the workers are based in Venezuela. Watchdog groups question why U.S. voting machines would be under the control of citizens of another country, especially a country whose own election process is highly suspect.
We believe this is a national security issue. There is no way that companies belonging to non-U.S. corporations should have access to our elections.
This was later confirmed by Sidney Powell in 2020 when the presidential election in America had been stolen to position Biden as an executor of the plans of the Satanists to destroy America and deliver America into the hands of the cabal. Listen to Sidney Powell.
I can hardly wait to put forth all the evidence we have collected on Dominion, starting with the fact it was created to produce altered voting results in Venezuela for Hugo Chavez, and then shipped internationally to manipulate votes for purchase in other countries, including this one. It was funded by money from Venezuela and Cuba, and China has a role in it also. We have staggering statistical evidence. We have staggering testimony from witnesses, including one who was personally in briefings when all of this was discussed and planned, beginning with Hugo Chavez and how it was designed there, and then saw it happening in this country. So, I mean, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of votes. President Trump won this election in a landslide.
President Trump himself has posted a video of a military intelligence whistleblower who confirms this. Listen to him.
From the official Dominion PDF ballot. In other words, the printing process, appearance is completely different than what you would get from a first-generation PDF printing.
These 25,000 unidentifiable ballots alone represent over double the amount of Joe Biden's 10,457 vote mark.
If our election wasn't rigged, it was a rigged election now, everyone knows. It's going to come out over the next couple of months too, loud and clear, because we have all the information there.
So what is happening is that President Trump, as the spearhead of a white hat operation worldwide, white hat operation means high-level military intelligence strategic network worldwide of good people who have not bowed their knee to Satan, but who are serving Christ in an operation to save humanity from the plans of evil. They are now literally ending one of the key centers of the cabal in the world, just like they did with Ukraine. Ukraine was a center for human trafficking, for underground breeding of children, for sexual pleasure of the elites, and for human sacrifice. It was a central intelligence headquarter of the Satanists worldwide. That's why George Soros said that if they lose Ukraine, it will be the end of their civilization. That's why the Rothschilds said it'll be the end of the world if Ukraine is captured. That is why they've been funding the war in Ukraine so massively, because they are desperate to lose it. They need to recapture what's in Ukraine. Venezuela, I believe, is similar to that. It has been orchestrated as one of the hubs for drug trafficking, but for election interference and for many other evils around the world. Trump and the White Hats are busy strategically taking out all these headquarters, all these centers. In so many videos I've told you guys, we are experiencing the deliverance of humanity from...
So as you can see, it's only had about 30 seconds left, guys. Everything I've been saying for the last 5 years, 6 years is finally coming out. Ukraine, like I said, there was a coup d'etat back in 2014. There's no war in Ukraine. The whole thing with Donald Trump, when he used to say the China virus, Chyna, Ukraine, there's so much corruption, and that's why Canada has been sending billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine for a money laundering, to control the narrative, to give to the UN, to help the WEF with their plans, because all their money is seized. Now, you got someone like, and I hate to say it, because I had this gentleman on my show once. I really did, and I really respected him. He goes by the name Mr. Freedom. Josh Bigger calls himself Mr. Big Time. Brought him on my show last year or a year and a half ago in November-ish, last year in November, and loved the guy. He was funny as hell. But in the past few weeks, Mr. Big Time Roofer literally did a 180 and did such a 180 that it totally is messed up with his brain and how he's going on with Donald Trump. Now, I've got a couple things for Josh. He's just lucky that I'm banned on Facebook, because the amount of hatred he's given, and I think the guy's lost his rocker. If anybody wants to tag this and put it, well, I'll have my buddy put this on my Facebook wall, obviously, but if anybody wants to tag and put that up, put this on his wall, I really want him, because I sent him messages to come and debate with me about what he's been saying about Donald Trump and doing this, and he's a billionaire. What the hell does he care about us? He's a politician. Well, I'm going to show you a little clip of Josh going off the rocker. I don't know if it's the amount of drugs that he does with cocaine that he brags about, or the amount of beer he drinks, or maybe shaving off his long beard like a Viking made him into a liberal. Either way, he's a retard. I hate to say it, and I'm going to say it. He's just lucky that I can't get to him on Facebook, but eventually I will get to him. He'll definitely block me, but he's actually losing a lot of followers. Check this out.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year's, or happy fake New Year's, because that's not what really New Year's is if you really know the truth. You've all been fooled. But anyways, a lot of upset people on my page, and I'm here to make sure that I made you more upset, because I've always been a comedian. I tell the truth, and I don't care about anyone's opinion. A lot of people unfollowing me today, and I'm glad you are, because all honesty, I looked at your profiles. You're 300-pound overweight, seed-eating, oil, disgusting human beings anyway that don't care about your health. And all you do is care about is promoting one person, which is a billionaire, Donald Trump, and that's fine. I used to support him too. I was hoping that maybe there would be one person out there that could save us, and that was wrong. I was not going to be a politician. There is one person out there that can save you, but it's not going to be a politician. So I can admit when I was wrong. So now I've been making some jabs at Donald Trump, and why not? He's a politician. He's the political figure. That's what they're there for. You can poke jabs at people. And if your reaction is to be upset when I poke jabs at somebody that's a billionaire that doesn't give a shit about you, and you get upset, you're acting just like the liberals, because I've dealt with them too. So here I am now, admitting that I was wrong, admitting that Donald Trump is no better than any other politician and just playing the dog and pony show, because that's what they're doing. There ain't going to be no arrests. Hillary Clinton ain't going to be hanging from a rope. She ain't going to go to jail. Her pedophile fucking husband ain't going to jail. And anyone that committed crimes with Epstein, they ain't going to jail either. They're all going to be their old buddies. It's like, and I go back to the George Carlins. He used to say it. It's all one big group, and we're not part of it, guys. So Donald Trump's just playing his part, going to play it out, going to be the leader of the New World Order. He's going to assemble it all, so Canada will become America, and the UK will join. It'll be an alliance, and they'll have the New World Order. He's the last step, and we all played into it. They fooled us all, guys. So it's okay to admit you're wrong. Most people are too stubborn to. That's why I admit the world isn't a globe, and we've been fucking lied to our whole entire existence. The school board's a fucking lying piece of shit. Science is all lies, proven to us over the COVID, and all you idiots.
So he goes and rambles on for another 2 minutes. Now, I wrote down a couple of things that Mr. Josh Big Time has talked about. He said that Trump's a politician. Well, that's number one, Josh. Trump's not a politician. He's a businessman. He's never considered himself a politician. The people that know anything about Donald Trump don't consider him as a politician because he'll tell you himself, he's politically incorrect. He does things incorrect when it comes to being a politician. I think everyone will agree with that. As a politician, you're not going to say, I'm going to get that fucking bastard, or I'm going to kill this person, or stuff like that. Politicians don't talk like that, Mr. Big Time. So I think the coffee, you got a little bit too much in there. And then he said something about Hillary Clinton not being hung. Well, Josh, when's the last time you actually seen Hillary Clinton live or on a show or on a TV or an interview? Sorry, my friend, Miss Clinton was executed back in 2018 at the 9/11 memorial when she was taken out, and they have it on video. I'm sure everyone's seen it, especially if you follow me, with them arresting her. And Josh said, I think he did another video. If you think this is correct, you are completely lost your mind. Listen, there's acting, and everyone knows acting. And then there's when you see a bunch of people dragging someone to a car, and you know the difference between acting and a serious thing. That's where common sense comes in. Acting and something obviously that is by nature. And there was no acting of when they seized her and how she fell, and they helped her up. All right, that wasn't acting, just to let you know. Bill Clinton, when's anyone seen the pictures or the videos of Bill Clinton? Because the new Bill Clinton, a.k.a. clone, a.k.a. casting, what did Donald Trump usually say? Central casting. How many times has he said some central casting, guys? And I got a video with them saying always central casting. I think you guys seen it. Or the number 17, how many times, like that intro? For the people that can't hear in the back, you think he says 17 because it's his favorite number. He was born on the 17. I don't know. He's got 17 kids, or what's with the 17? Q, right? Q. So with that being said, also he said about the Donald Trump bringing the NW New World Order. Well, Josh, unless the drinking has really affected your brain cells, I do recall. Donald Trump has got out of the New World Order, has got the United States out of the WHO, has got out of the UN Pact, has got out of the Agenda 25 Pact, has stopped the WEF, didn't even, do I need to go on? Has stopped companies from putting dyes in food, has got RFK, which I think he talked about RFK in there, has literally said no more spraying in the skies with the chemical trails, aka contrails for the libtards out there. I can go on and on and on. So the only thing that comes to mind, Mr. Josh Bigger or Big Time, is the fact you probably got tapped on the shoulder to turn around, or you got paid because you're an attention whore. I hate to say it, but you really are an attention whore. But I love your videos. Keep the comedy. Stay away from politics, my friend. That's the difference. And I hope to God that you lose a lot of followers. I really do, because you're never going to come out of this. And now he's doing the same thing with Venezuela, saying that Donald Trump's after oil. Donald Trump's after oil. Well, I'm going to show you a little video here, Mr. Josh, Mr. Big Time, if people want to, share this video with Mr. Big Time for me, because I would love for him to accept my invitation. It probably won't last long because I'll be swearing at him, he'll be swearing at me, and then we'll see who's a bigger man of who's going to stay and who's going to definitely he'll jump off the podcast. But I would love to have him on the podcast to give him some pointers when he says no one's here to save us. Well, Mr. Josh, Donald Trump's already saved us many, many more times than you even have the slightest clue if Hillary Clinton would have won that the election 2016, because your skinny ass would be sitting in a FEMA camp right now, getting your 12 vaccination and being indoctrinated to learn the credit system. All right, because that was the plan, and it was going to be rolled out as soon as Hillary Clinton would have won that election. But I guess being on the roof has affected, maybe it's the air quality because you're higher up with the chemical trails. Either way, you're a complete moron and an attention whore. And I know there's a lot of people have unfollowed you. I can't wait to get off on media ban, on Facebook ban, so I can literally come after you when it comes to social media and attack you on every angle when it comes to Donald Trump. But check this out. I like her perspective also with the Donald Trump and doing things, especially Greenland and Cuba and all those places. It's 49 seconds, but I like her. I like her point of view, her perspective. Think outside the box, but she could be right.
If you think what's going on in Venezuela is because Trump wants their oil, come have a seat. China depends on cheap oil from Venezuela, Iran, and Russia. Venezuela's now out, and China was getting about 400,000 barrels a day from them. China's been getting about 1.5 million barrels a day from Iran, but they've been actively protesting the regime. China has an oil reserve for about 90 days. If they stop getting oil from Venezuela and Iran, it goes down to about 45 days. That's not enough oil to handle a naval blockade. That means they're not capable of fighting a war. Now President Trump says he needs to take over Greenland. That would block China from getting oil from Russia's Arctic, the North Atlantic, and Europe. China imports about 70% of their oil. This would make oil very expensive, and it would hurt their economy. This has nothing to do with the U.S. wanting to take over their oil. We have enough. This is a strategic puzzle piece so that China can't.
Make any sense to you? Because I'm going to tell you, makes a lot of sense to me, especially when he says Greenland for national security. Not only national security, but also for the fact that up there in where the Greenland part is owned by Denmark, which is, I don't know if you guys know this, and I wish I had the stats to put it up there to show you guys, but you can look it up yourself. Guess what is the top 3 most corrupted countries in the entire world, guys? Guess what country is in the top 3? It's the number 1, but we're just going to say the top 3 most corrupted country in the world is Denmark. Denmark is the number 1 corrupt, even more corrupt than Ukraine. Can you imagine? And who owns Greenland? And they're voted number 1 for the most corrupted country in the entire world. Like, I know Colombia's corrupt as hell. I know Venezuela's corrupt as hell. Hell, Canada's is corrupt. United States is corrupt to the bone. But to have Denmark more corrupt than all those countries, there's something we don't know that they know up there in Denmark, which I don't even have the slightest clue. But I was curious when I seen that statistic today on from Moose on the Loose, believe it or not, from David on Moose on the Loose, that show the chart of what the most corrupted countries in the world were. Wow, Denmark. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of corruption, speaking of immigrants, speaking of everything you can imagine that's going wrong in all the other countries, northern, like Europe, Canada, of course, and of course Australia, basically the Commonwealth countries, and we're being invaded by Indians, by Punjabs, Pakistans, Afghanistans, all those sand people, and what has happened is when they come down from their countries, they're coming down with degrees that they went to university and they studied and they got all this knowledge. Well, I always knew it was a crock of shit because they're the most dumbest people on the face of this earth. Now, I'm not saying 100%, but we're going to say 90%. For the mere reason, check this out. I'm going to play this minute video before I play this other one. But check this out of the most dumbest people in the world by race.
Here are the top 10 countries with the highest percentage of cousin marriages. That means first cousins getting married. Pretty much inbreeding. At number 10, we have Iran at 39.5%. At number 9, Yemen with 44.7%. At number 8, Iraq with 46.4%. Number 7, Mauritania with 47.2%. At number 6, Afghanistan with 49%. And at number 5, Sudan with 50%. At number 4, we have the United Arab Emirates with 50.5%. At number 3, Qatar with 54%. At number 2, we've got Kuwait with 54.3%. And drum roll, please. At number 1, we have Pakistan with 61.2% of cousin marriages. Comment what you think and follow for more.
Pakistan, 62% of their population are inbreeds. That goes to show you. I didn't make this shit up, even though it's common sense, and I'm pretty much the number one person in this entire Canadian population that can teach about common sense, even though that's not insult people with common sense, but I go beyond the common sense. I'm on a whole 5D level that I analyze way too much. That's the problem with me. I would have made an excellent psychiatrist, even though I have my psychology degree. I just couldn't do it that extra 2 years. I hated school. I knew exactly what they were trying to do. But when it comes to common sense, I have a master's, we'll say a doctorate in masters, as high as we can go, a PhD when it comes to common sense and especially street smart. So Pakistan, which of course, when you're the government and you're bringing in all this Pakistan, and you know that 62% of them are inbreeds and their minds are like, it's easy to manipulate them. But also for someone to say that they're very smart and they coming from Pakistan and India with degrees, check this out, what just happened in Pakistan and India of what the law enforcement just captured.
ഇവരുടെ അതായത് കേരളത്തിലുടനീളം നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ നോക്കിയതിനകത്ത് വിവിധ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ ഇവർ ഏജൻസികൾ വഴിയാണ്. ഇനി അതിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ കൂടുതലായിട്ട് അന്വേഷണം നടത്തേണ്ടത്. അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ഏജന്റാണ് ജസിം, അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ഏജന്റാണ് രതീഷ്. ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള വ്യത്യസ്തങ്ങളായിട്ടുള്ള സ്ഥലങ്ങൾ അവരെയാണ് ഈ അറസ്റ്റിലായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഏറ്റവും ലേറ്റസ്റ്റ് അറസ്റ്റ് 3 പേര് ശിവകാശിയിൽ നിന്ന് അറസ്റ്റായിരുന്നു. താനൂർ പോലീസ് സ്റ്റേഷന്റെ പേരിലുള്ള ഇതിന്റെ പ്രധാനമായിട്ടുള്ള ഡാനി അലിയാസ് മനേഷ് ഉൾപ്പെടെ 10 പേര് അറസ്റ്റായി.
So I know we don't speak their language, but what had happened is they interrupted a big organization of printing off degrees and selling them to the Pakistan people. So when they're coming from Pakistan, India to Canada, they're showing these businesses that they have this degree and this and this and that, which I knew was always a lie, because the number one biggest scammers in the entire world is Indian people. All right. Number 2 would be the African people in certain countries. Obviously, I can't say all of Africa, it's a continent, but Somalians would be number 1. Nigerians, number 2. Jamaicans are in there. The Chinese, especially when it comes to stuff to do with the internet, that would be definitely, used to be the Chinese, but now it's the Pakistans that have taken over the internet scams. That's why every time you get if you get something on the internet or a phone call and it's someone with a Pakistan accent, just hang up the phone. We're with the RRS, hang up the phone. If you want to play along with them, go along, because sometimes I like to do it. If I get a phone call from the CRA and it's a Pakistan, I usually go along with it, and then I just tell them where to go at the end of it. So because I like wasting their time, because when they call us and they're in India, if it's 4:00 our time, for them it's like 3:00 a.m. in their time. So I like playing along to keep them awake, but it's fun. But I usually give them the old where to go speech right after and say my 2 cents. Besides that, guys, I had a couple more things to talk about, especially when it comes to Indians. But I was going to talk about our Aboriginal natives down here in Canada, specifically in New Brunswick and Canada, Canadians. But I'm going to wait for Thursday's show to do that, because there's a few things out that they've been trying to do. And the WEF are using the natives to tell them that Canada's your land. You know, you need to go and get it back. You know, basically to start division and stuff like that. I even had someone on my TikTok, and I'm trying to get him back, that his tribe, get this, guys, and I want to say this for Thursday. He's on TikTok, and it's something with claws. And I can't remember his TikTok because I should have saved it. Is a native in Thunder Bay. His reserve got over $200,000 per person in Thunder Bay. And he's on TikTok showing wads and wads and wads of money pulling out. Within less than a month, he had pulled out $50,000. They got $250,000. He's got wads and wads of money, calling us Canadians broke ass bitches. I had to comment. I had to say a lot of shit. I'm trying to find if he ever replied back, because I really want to get those clips to show you guys how disgusting our Canadian government is giving these freeloaders. Because when you talk about natives to me, I don't care, natives, Aboriginals, or what's the other word? Aboriginal, natives, and what's the other word they use for it? I just call them freeloaders. All right, plain and simple, freeloaders. And to see this guy with $250,000, and he bought himself a Range Rover. He was bragging about his Range Rover, and the house he lived in was a piece of shit. But he didn't mind that he lived in a piece of shit house that was dirty as hell. As long as he had a Gucci bag, and he was going to the deposit, the ATM, and dragging out $5,000-$10,000 at a time every day, and he was bragging. It's enough to make you Canadians sick to your stomach. And I love to point that out. So I'm going to try to find, but he was bragging. He didn't want to say Thunder Bay, but we found out he was from Thunder Bay, and his reserve, they all got each $250,000 for that reserve. I don't know which reserve it is, but it's time to expose this shit that's happening with these freeloaders. And I would love for Mario, for me to hook up with Mario up north, so we can expose, even though he doesn't care for the natives either, because I got a video with him exposing the natives. But I'm going to wait till Thursday to talk about it. But they are complete freeloaders. So yeah, if anybody is a follower of Mr. Josh Big Time, please send this video, copy. It's going to be on my Facebook page. I'm going to send this link off to my buddy who can put it on my profile. Copy the link, throw it to Josh. I would love to have his take, because I mean, I've got a lot of words to say to Mr. Big Time, that skinny ass Viking wannabe libtard. And he says he's not vaccinated, but I don't know. I think he sounds pretty vaccinated now. But besides that, guys, I mean, good times are coming. We're going to see Cuba fall, because I'm telling you, you don't even want to go to Cuba. Cuba is a shithole right now. In the last couple of years, I would never visit Cuba. And if I did, I'm the type of person that would go off the resort. But I've seen a lot of YouTubers going off the resort, and it's not good. Colombia, like I said, it's getting worse and worse in Colombia as I speak, because a lot of the economy is going to shit. 2018, it wasn't that bad when I started going, but 2024, 2025, it's getting worse and worse, to the point that they're starting to drug tourists. And this is a true fact. They're literally drugging tourists so they can rob them. All right. And they do it on a daily basis. And it's a big thing that some of these tourists actually die. There's an average of 40 to 50 tourists that die in Colombia alone per month because of the amount of drugs that they put in their drinks. That's called scotamine. And if they put too much, it's happened to me, just to let you know. I've got drugged, me, my buddy, my best friend. We were in Cartagena in Colombia, and we both had our drinks on the table. And two girls came to talk to us, and without knowing and being stupid, I went to the washroom, and one girl probably was talking to my buddy Sebastian, and took his attention, went dancing with him, and she put a couple dips in our drink. Now, the thing with scopolamine is, the problem is, it's what they call a zombie drug. You're awake, but It's a truth drug, I guess you could say. They literally followed us to the ATM, drained our account that night, as much as they could anyway. But they were nice enough to bring us to our hotel, where we woke up in our own vomit on the floor in our hotel room. And I never knew we could have died. So that's how bad it was. And this was, what, 3 years ago? Yeah, it was 3 years ago that it happened to me. And from now on, I'm very careful. But I follow a lot of things on scopamine in Colombia, because that's going to be my destination in 5 years. So as Donald Trump is doing what Donald Trump needs to do to clean up these third world countries, which you might think Colombia is a third world country, but trust me, it really isn't a third world country. It's actually more advanced than Canada, to be honest with you. But it is getting bad. Venezuela, forget about it, even though I would love to go visit Caracas, but I wouldn't go there because you're getting robbed, or you're getting mugged, kidnapped, you name it. So it's like literally a no-go zone when it comes to it. Now it's going to be a lot cleaner in the next 6 months to 8 months. It's going to be perfect. We're going to get rid of the Colombian government with Pedro, who's already warned Trump to come and get him. You fucked around, and now you're going to find out. The Cuban government said the same thing. He's fucked around. Now he's going to find out, and the lefts are going to go crazy. Anyway, I love you guys all. Good times ahead. Good times ahead. The only shitty part is turn off your TVs, because that's all you're going to hear in the next 3 to 4 months is all this crap with Donald Trump, and he's a dictator, and he saved the Venezuelan people, even though millions are dancing in the streets all around the world. These people, this is the reason why I support the depopulation agenda. I hate to say it. It makes me sound like Satan, but I do support the depopulation agenda for liberal voters and Democrat voters. That's 100%. I don't care if I go up to the big, into the heavenly gates in the sky, and God says, why did you go on your podcast saying, Jeff, that you supported depopulation? Everybody is my child. And I would say, well, God, when someone is talking about this and that, to me, they're a demon in my eyes, right? They don't want world peace because they're getting paid. Protesting, they're getting paid to act this way. So for me, they're demons. And that's how I look at them. I look at them no different than from a drug lord or a criminal. So anyway, guys, I love you all. Here's a little high res with 2 + 2 = 5, because I love this song. It describes the left-tards and the Democrats in today's society. But it's going to get better. From Jeff Freedom. We'll see you guys back Thursday. And guys, my account will be back up and running. But again, once again, for the people that follow me, for the love of God, please add YouTube. It's very simple. When I do go back live on Facebook, I'm going to pray that everyone adds YouTube to their cell phones and add the Canadian Dawn. So when I do get banned from Facebook, everyone can join me live on YouTube and pretty much fudge off to Facebook. That's how it needs to go, because I think the next time I get banned, they're going to take my account, and I'm never going back on Facebook again after that. Just to let you guys know. Anyway, I love you. I love you guys all. Take care. And like Don Cherry says, you people, keep it Canadian. Keep your stick on the ice. And here's a little high res with 2 + 2 = 5.
So it's different, as you know, that with equity comes... Class, please welcome the new student, Robert.
Welcome, Robert. Well, thanks for the warm welcome, Teach. It's lit, no cap.
Take a seat. White privilege is something
Welcome.
that each and every one of you bigots and colonists have.
Wow.
Oh my God, is that bread?
Kick the fathers out the house, send the mothers back to work. Let the school system parent your children right from the birth. Make them meal, feed them pills, confuse them about what's real. Tell them facts don't really matter, it's all about how you feel. Science and math are racist, history let's erase it. Indoctrinate a whole generation, you can't escape it. It's bigger than American politics, you're an accomplice. White people racist and bigots and you're a colonist. If you want freedom, we'll encourage to do the opposite. It's toxic masculinity, if a man is too confident. Excuse me, what's a woman? Well, I am not a biologist. Common sense is really not common when you're a communist. Parents that care about their kids, let's call them terrorists. It's cool to be a feminist and an environmentalist. And if you love the country, that makes you a white supremacist. Don't even try defending it, cause what you say's irrelevant. Come on, put your hands up
better not be in here telling these children that men can't get pregnant.
Of course not, Mr. Smith.
And did you tell all the white children that they are racist?
And colonizers and bigots, yes.
Very good.
Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. Don't have children. If you do, then abort them. If your neighbors don't comply with the government, then report them. If you have independent thoughts, then just ignore them. Communism's the way, democracy is too boring. Bring your kids to a drag show. Give them a couple dollars to put right up in their asshole. Don't worry about the Epstein flight logs. The case is closed, so don't even go and ask, bro. Trust the WHO and CDC. None of our politicians work for the CCP. White kids are born racist. If you disagree, that makes you a damn racist. Study CRT. In today's lesson, men can get pregnant. Put your hands down, no more questions. Don't say pedophile, just say ALA. Adults that like adolescents. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. We want to drive the whole world crazy. Brainwash kids from the time they're babies. We want you dependent and lazy. They never learn, honestly, it amazes me. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a racist if you don't think that adds up. Go and put your hands up, everybody stand up. The whole world going mad, bruh. 2 + 2 = 5. You a homophobe if you don't think that adds up. We want to drive the whole world crazy. Brainwash kids from the time they're babies. We want you dependent and lazy. They never learn, honestly, it amazes me.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for watching my brand new music video, 2 + 2 = 5. If you can, check out the description box below. Click that link and grab yourself a t-shirt. Common sense isn't common when you're a communist. I appreciate y'all.